Subhanallah walhamdulillah, subhanallah walhamdulillah, subhanallah walhamdulillah, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wasallam. Wa ba'd, assalamu alaikum, my brothers and sisters in Islam. My name is Awal. I'm a Nigerian from Nigeria. This is the explanation that I want to do to you today is about number of Rakaat Salat through the Holy Quran. Number of Rakaat Salat written in the Holy Quran, and I'll show you three places where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala write number of Rakaat Salat in the Holy Quran. And then the third place is where Allah even number it the way we are arranged, the way number is arranged. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is it. Then this number of Rakaat Salat is in the translation, is in the second translation of the Quran from Surah Al-Fatiha to Nas, which is number that we are counting. And then when you look at it, philosophy behind second translation of Quran, which is number that we are counting, philosophy behind it have no end. And then that's part of second translation of Quran, that is mathematics that these English people bring. When somebody is talking of mathematics and all that, those calculations that you are calculating, those numbers that you are calculating, where did it come from? Where did you get those numbers? You see, all that number that you are calculating with it, all is in the second translation of Quran from Surah Al-Fatiha to Nas, which is the number that we are counting. Then, which is I want to explain to you. You see, Surah Al-Isra, what's it? Bismillahir Rahman. Allah is Ar-Rahman in the Surah. If Allah is talking about Rahman, then Allah is Ar-Rahman in the Surah. Then Allah is talking about this word. Rahim, Allah is Ar-Rahim thereafter. Then if Allah is Ar-Rahim thereafter, then Allah is talking about hereafter. So you see, this word and heaven all together is in Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Then when you count the alpha Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, you saw it 19, then that's 19 angels. Then 19 angels, they are the angels that said a guidance of the whole world and heaven. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Then, here, you see first translation of Quran from Surah Al-Fatiha to Nasi. That is Arab language. That's how revealed the whole Quran in. And then you can translate the Quran from Arab language to any kind of language in the whole world entirely. You can translate the Quran from Arab language to the English language. You can translate the Quran from Arab language to the Spanish language. You can translate the Quran from Arab language to the French language. You can translate the Quran from Arab language to the European language. You can translate the Quran from Arab language to the Greek language. You can translate the Quran from Arab language to the Indian language. You can translate the Quran from Arab language to the African language. You can translate the Quran from Arab language to the any kind of language in the whole world. You can translate the Quran from Arab language to the animal language. You can translate the Quran from Arab language to the cow language, to the goat language, to the elephant language, to the pigeon language. You can translate the Quran from Arab language to the Hud, that Hu language. Any animal in the world. And then that is part of the wisdom that's a grant to Prophet Sulaiman Islam. You can translate the Quran from Arab language to the animal. That is the kind of the wisdom that's a grant to Prophet. That's one of the wisdom that's a grant to Prophet Sulaiman Islam, which is in the first translation of Quran. Then you can translate the Quran from Arab language to the ant language, the valley ant language, any kind of language, any kind of ant. You see, you sound them sounding, making sound. You can translate one from Arab language to the valley ant language, beach language. Then you can translate one from Arab language to the trees language. When the breeze is blowing, you see the sound of the tree and all that. And then the leaves, you find them making sound. grasses making sound. All those one you can translate one from Allah to those language. You can translate one from Allah to the fruit language. You can translate one from Arab language to the all the things that are created language. So see, and then philosophy behind it have knowledge. You can translate one from a language to the things, even things that manufacture language, like a bicycle. That sound you hear when you're riding bicycle, you hear the sound of the bicycle. You can, that is language. That is language. You can translate one to a language to the motorcycle language. Brun, that sound that's making that sound of motorcycle. That is language. He is talking the way you are talking, but you don't understand what motorcycle is saying. Is safe. His fellow motorcycle. That's you want to understand what he's saying. Even you too is human being like you that understand what you are saying. Therefore, Allah's name is Hayyun, ever lively, ever. And then when you look at it, when you remove iron from mountain, you remove rubber from tree, then mountain and tree. That is one of the sunnatullahi that never change. Then you remove iron from mountain, you remove rubber from tree. Then you now use iron and rubber in manufacturing bicycle, motorcycle, vehicle, airplane. Then those things that you manufacture from those things that manufacture out, the sound that they are making, are you the one that created that sound and they give it to them? You see, you after manufacturing, you are not the one, but it's Almighty Allah is the one that created the sound and they give it to them. So you see, those things that you manufacture, they are lively, hayyun, ever. Anything you can translate one from a language to the stick language, you can translate one from a language to the paper language. Look at the sound of paper. You can translate one from a language to the leather language. You can translate one from a language to the even shoes language. You can translate one from a language to the cloth language. You hear the sound. It's making sound. You can translate one from a language to the stick language. You can translate one from a language to the engine language. You can translate one from a language to the electricity language. You see, you can translate one from a language, any kind of anything that makes sound, anything that has sound, that is language of that particular thing. It's talking the way you are talking, but you don't understand what that particular thing is saying, except that particular thing. You don't understand what it's saying. Even you too is human being that to understand what you are saying. Therefore, Allah's name is Hayyun, ever living. Then that is first translation one. That's some explanation, little explanation about first translation one from Surah Fatir to Nasi. Then second translation one from Surah Fatir from Surah. Second translation one from Surah Fatir to Nasi. That is which is number that we are counting. Which is number that we are counting. And then this, if you count the alpha of the verse of the Quran, any number that reach, any number that you stop, that is foundation of that number. That's where the number begin, and then that's number of the angel that receive a guidance of whatever Allah say in that verse, and then that number that we use in counting natural things that are created, and then things that we manufacture. For instance, when we come to Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, when you count the alpha Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, you saw it 19. Then that is foundation number 19. That is beginning of number 19. Then that number 19. That is number of the angel that said that are guidance of whatever Allah say in Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. You see Bismillah, Allah, Bismillah, that is Bismillahir Rahman. Allah is Ar-Rahmani in this world. Bismillah, that's Allah name. Ar-Rahman, that's Allah name. Ar-Rahim, that's Allah name. Then Bismillahir Rahman. Allah is Ar-Rahmani in this world. If Allah is talking about Rahmani, which is most gracious, then Allah is Ar-Rahmani in this world. Allah is talking about the whole world in time. Then Rahim, Allah is Ar-Rahim thereafter. Then Allah is Ar-Rahim thereafter. Then Allah is talking about hereafter. Then this world and heaven altogether is in Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Then when you count alpha Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, you saw in 19. Then that's 19 angels. Then 19 angels, they are the angels that are guidance of the whole world and heaven. You see, then number 19, that number 19, that's the number of the angels that are guidance of whatever Allah say in Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Then that number 19, that's the number that number that we use in counting natural things that are created with the thing that manufacture. That number 19, that's the number that we use in counting natural things that are created, which is we count 3 mountain, 19 mountain, and 3 19 trees, 19 human being, 19 animal, 19 19 cow, 19 elephant, 19 ram, 19 goat, 19 fruit, 19 look at it, 19 ant, 19 valley ant, 19 pigeon, 19 kudu, 19 hubu, 19 you see nature in the racket, 19 grass, 19 leaves, 19. Then that number, I think that's the number that we use in counting 10 that manufacture. 19 bicycle, 19 motorcycle, 19 vehicle, 19 aeroplane, 19 sheep, 19 sheep, 19 cloth, 19 handset, 19 television, 19 computer, 19 cushion, 19 mattress, 19 philosophy behind the hard knowledge. Do you say again, another example again, another one again. When we go to the Nasi, which is mankind, then word Nasi have 2 alpha. Then when you count the word Nasi, you count the alpha of word Nasi, any that is 2 alpha. Then that is foundation of number 2. That's where number 2 started. That's the beginning of number 2. Then that number 2, that's number of the angels said that are guardians of each mankind. And then proof about it, Allah say, Kiraman Katibi. Kiraman, that is 2 angels. Katibi, they are writing. Ya'lamuna ma taf'alun. They know whatever each of you, they know whatever you are doing. They know each mankind, they know what they are doing. So that number 2, that's the number of the angels that said that are guardians of each mankind. And then that number 2, that's what you use in counting natural rakaat 2 mountain, and then that number 2, that's the number that you use in counting 10 that mafato. That number 2, that's the number that you use in counting natural rakaat like 19 like a 2 mountain, 2 tree, 2 leaves, 2 fruit, 2 grasses, 2 human being, 2 animal, 2 cow, 2 elephant, 2 goat, 2 ram, 2 goat, 2 sheep, 2 you got it, 2 camel, 2 horse, look at it, 2 ant, 2 valley ant, 2 bird, 2 pigeon, 2 hoop. Look at it, philosophy behind the half. And then that number, that's the number that we use in counting 10 that manufacture, like 2 bicycle, 2 motorcycle, 2 vehicle, 2 aeroplane, 2 sheep, 2 cloth, 2 shoes, 2 watch, 2 gun. Look at it. 10 that manufacture. Then when we come to the number of Rakaat Of Sallat, it's in the second translation one from Surah Fatah to Nas. When we go to Surah Al-Nisa'i chapter 4, 1 verse 3 say, وإن خفتم ألا تقسطوا في اليتامى فانكحوا ما طاب لكم من النساء مثنى وثلاث ورباع وإن خفتم ألا تعدلوا فواحدة أو ما ملكت أيمانكم ذلك أدنى ألا تعولوا وإن خفتم ألا تقسطوا في اليتامى فانكحوا ما طاب لكم من النساء مثنى وثلاث ورباع وإن خفتم ألا تعدلوا فواحدة أو ما ملكت أيمانكم ذلك أدنى ألا تعولوا. If you cannot do just in between orphan girls, then marry woman of your choice, 2 or 3 or 4. If you cannot do just between them, then you marry one or slave with your right hand for this. That is near to prevent you from doing injustice. So you see, then what Allah say in this verse, your attention will not go what Allah say in this verse when we come to second translation or one which number that you are counting. Where your attention will go, those numbers are arranged 2. Look at this. 2 or 3 or 4. Then at the end he now mentioned 1. If you cannot do just in between them, you marry 1. Then your attention where you go, that number 1 that he mentioned. Then when we come to and then we go Surah Al-Qaf, chapter 51, verse 39. It says, فَاصْبِرُوا عَلَى مَا يَقُولُونَ وَسَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّكَ قَبْلَ طُلُوعِ الشَّمْسِ وَقَبْلَ الْغُرُوبِ. Yeah. Be patient about what they say, Prophet, and then glorify the praise of your Lord, meaning your Allah, before the rising of the sun and then before sitting. Then what salat we perform before rising of the sun? That's the salat of Subhi. Then how many rakat he have? He has 2 rakat. He has 2 rakat. Then when we come to Surah, when you go to Surah An-Nisa, chapter 41, verse 3, then Allah mentioned number 2 at the starting. Allah mentioned number 2 at the starting of Surah An-Nisa. At the starting of the verse in Surah An-Nisa. You see the 2 here. Then وَقَبَلَ الْغُرُوبِ before sitting of the sun. Surah Al-Qaf. وَقَبَلَ الْغُرُوبِ before sitting of the sun. Then what salat do you perform before sitting of the sun? Which salat Maghrib? How many rakat do you have? He has 3 rakat. Then when we go to Surah An-Nisa, chapter 3, verse 4, chapter 4 of the Quran, verse 3. Then immediately Allah mentioned number 2. He now mentioned number 3. Look at the 3 here. Then you see that salat that has 2 rakat, which actually is written inside one. Salat that has 3 rakat, which salat al-Maghrib, the rakat of that salat is written inside one. Then when we go Surah An-Nisa'i, chapter 4 of the Quran, verse 3. Immediately Allah mentioned number 3, He now mentioned number 4. Look at it, 4. Then this, which salat that has 4 rakat? Salat al-Zuhri has 4 rakat, Salat Asr has 4 rakat, Salat Isha has 4 rakat. Then the reason why number 4 is at the back of number 3, because of Salat al-Isha that has 4 rakat is at the back of Salat al-Maghrib that has 3 rakat. The reason why number 4 is at the back of number 3, because of Salat al-Isha that has 4 rakat is at the back of Salat al-Maghrib that has 3 rakat. Look at it. Then all the Salat that has 4 rakat is written, their number of rakat is written inside of one. You see? Then at the end, as I say that Allah mentioned number 1. When it comes to Allah Ta'ala for Wahid, if you cannot do this in one, then that your attention where you go when you come to second translation 1 from Surah Fatah to Nas with number that you are counting. That 1, that's where your attention will go. Then that number 1, which is Salat that has 1 rakah, that is Salat what? Look at the number of here. Then this salat, this number of rakat salat, you see Arab Imam say that number of rakat salat is not written inside one except with the help of their that's where we know that. You see criminals behind Islam. Then this rakat of salat that you are seeing, if you perform your salat from salat to subhi, salat to zuhuri, salat to asri, salat to maghrib, salat to isha, you perform that salat, it's like you have built a mansion. That is how it is. Then by performing salat al-shafi and witr, it's like you are fenced, like somebody who has built a mansion and then fenced it. How Allah arranged the number, look at it. How Allah arranged this number, 2 or 3 or 4. Then at the end he now mentioned 1. Then if you perform all your salat to subhi, salat to zuhr, salat asr, salat maghrib, salat isha, then you perform salat al-shafi and witr, then it's like somebody that built a mansion and then fenced it. And then look at it. Salat al-Shafi, how many rakat did he have? He has 2 rakat. Then we'll go to Surah An-Nisa'i, chapter 41, verse 3. Then Allah mentioned 2 at the starting. He mentioned 2 at the starting. That is first fence. That is the first fence. Like somebody, that's first fence. Then Salat al-Wutr. How many rakat did he have? He has 1 rakat. Then we'll go to Surah An-Nisa'i, chapter 41, verse 3. Then at the end of the verse, Allah mentioned 1. Look at the second fence. Then, meaning if you perform all your salat, and then you now perform shafi and witr, it's like somebody that built a mansion and then fence it. So this is the first place where it's the right number of rakat salat, which I showed you. Then we'll go to second place, which is Surah Al-Fatih, chapter 1, verse 1. Said, Alhamdulillah, Fatir as-samawati wal ardi, ja'ilul malaikati rusulan uli ajnihatin masna wa thalatha wa ruba', yazid fi khalqi ma yasha', inna Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir. You see, all praise and thanks are Allah. Allah, the originator of the creation of the heaven and the earth, who has made angels messenger with wing 2 and 3 and 4. Yazid fi khalqi ma sha, he increase in his creation what he will. Inna Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir. Allah is able to do all things. So see, Allah made angel messenger with wing 2 and 3 and 4. So see, Yazid fi khalqi ma sha, he increase in his creation what he will. So look at it. Allah has still mentioned, look at it, the way here is 2 or 3 or 4, then 2 and 3 and 4. Then at the end, he says, Yazid fi khalqi ma sha, he increased in his creation what he will. Meaning those angels are made messenger with two wings, 3 wings, or 4, 2 wings and 3 wings and 4 wings. Then there's angels are created with 1 wing. Because he said he increased in his creation what he will. So your attention will not go what Allah said in that verse. When we come to the second translation one, which is number that you are counting, where your attention will go, how Allah arranged those number 2 and 3 and 4, and then at the end Allah mentioned 1. Then when we go sort of off chapter 551 verse that said, first we be patient about your Lord, meaning Allah, and then Prophet Muhammad, and then glorify the praise of. Be patient about what they say, Prophet, and then glorify the praise of your Lord, meaning Allah, before rising of the sun and then before sitting. Then which salat do you perform before rising of the sun? Which is that salat to subhi. Then how many rakat did he have? He has 2 rakat. And then look at it. When we go so Fatir chapter 1 verse 1, Allah mentioned 2 at the starting of the verse. Then again when we go so till of chapter 51 verse 39. Say what qabla al-ghurub, before setting of the sun. Which salat do we perform before setting of the sun? That is salat al-maghrib. Then how many rakat salat al-maghrib have? 3 rakat. Then we'll go sort al-Fatir, chapter 1 verse 1. Immediately Allah mentioned in that verse, imagine Allah mentioned number 2, you now mention number 3. Look at 3 here. Then we'll go sort al-Fatir. You see number salat that has 2 rakah, which is subi, and the maghrib that has 3 rakah, the rakah, the number of rakah is written inside 1. Then surah when we go sort al-Fatih chapter 1 verse 1. Then immediately Allah mentioned number 3, now mention number 4. Then which salat that has 4 rakah? You see salat al-Zuhri has 4 rakah, salat al-Asr has 4 rakah, salat al-Isha has 4 rakah. Then the reason why you see 4 at the back of 3, because of salat al-Isha that is at the back of salat al-Maghrib. The reason why you see 4 at the back of 3, because of Salat al-Isha that has 4 rakah, is at the back of Salat al-Maghrib that has 3 rakah. Look at it. Then at the end Allah said, Yazid fi khalqi ma sha, he increased in his creation what he will. Meaning those angels are created with wing 2, 3 and 4. There's angels are created with 1 wing. But your attention will not go what Allah see. But that one that I mentioned, that's where attention will won't come to the second translation one, which number that we are counting. Then that one that was mentioned at the end, which salat that has 1 rakat, that is salat al-maghrib. Yeah, that is salat that has 1 rakat, that's salat al-witr. And then look at it, the number here of salat, number of rakat salat al-witr. Then if you perform your salat, so all your salat from salat to subhi, salat to zuhri, salat asr, salat maghrib, salat isha. And then it's like somebody that built a mansion. Then when you perform salat shafi and witr, it's like somebody that built a mansion and a fence. When you look at how Allah arranged the number. And then look at it. The first fence, when you perform salat, all your salat, and then you perform salat shafi. Then salat shafi, how many rakah do you have? He has 2 rakah. Then when we go sort al-Fatih, chapter 1 verse 1, Allah mentioned 2 at the starting of the verse. Look at the 2 here. That is first fence. Then when we finish salat shafi, we now perform salat witr. Then salat witr, how many rakah did he have? He has 1 rakah. Then when we go sort al-Fatih, chapter 1 verse 1, then Allah mentioned 1 at the end of the verse. Look at the 1 here. So you see that is second fence. Meaning, if you perform your salat and then you perform salat shafi and witr, then it's like somebody just build a mansion and a fence. Look at everything. So, by seeing number of rakat salat inside of 1, when you come to the, and then this number of rakat salat, which is salat Nafila has 2 rakah. Look at it, number 2. No, 2 rakah salat nafila is written inside one. Salatul Jum'ah has 2 rakah. The number of rakah is written inside one. Salatul Eid al-Fitr has 2 rakah. Salatul Eid al-Kabir has 2 rakah. All the number of rakah is written inside one. So by seeing the number of rakah salat inside one, meaning what I'm trying to say here, those Arabians that say that when you miss Salatul Jum'ah, you now perform Zuhri. Don't you ever do that. Because the reason why they say that when you miss Salatul Jum'ah, you perform Salatul Zuhri, which is 4 rakah, instead of 2 rakah, because of they say that their number of rakah salat is not written inside one except with heavy hadith. You know that. So since we have seen number of rakah salat inside one, so when you come to perform Salatul Jum'ah, when you miss Salatul Jum'ah, either in that year or you miss it, you forget it for a week, for a year, and then you remember, or you even miss it at the time that you miss it, you want to do it. That number, that 2 rak'ah of Jum'ah that is written inside one, you do it like that. As you see it, even if you meet Salat of Jum'ah, when you come to do it, perform it, that number, that 2 rak'ah, that's what you perform, because the number of the rak'ah Salat is written inside one. Clear? Any salat that you miss, the number is written inside one. Therefore, when you come to perform it, you now the number of rak'ah salat that is written inside one, you do it exactly. The other one you cannot add on it, and then you cannot reduce it. The other one you cannot add on it, and then you cannot reduce it. It's completely free guided. Then when you count the alpha, you look at it. Then it's again, that's the second place. There is the right number of rakah salat. Then we'll go third place where it's the right number of rakah salat. Allah arranged it the way we are counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the third place, you see, when we go to Surah Al-Fatiha, chapter 1 of the one, then when you come to second translation one, which number that we are counting, where your attention will go, that number 1 as I mentioned of that Surah Al-Fatiha. Then that number 1 refers to Rakaat of Sallat. That number 1 is Rakaat of Sallat. And then which Salat that has 1 Rakaat, that is Salat or water. It's the number of Rakaat Salat water is written inside 1. Then we'll go to Surah Al-Baqarah, which is number 2 Surah. Then when we come to second translation 1, your attention will go to, that number 2. Then when Salat that has 2 rakah, you see Salat Subhi has 2 rakah, Salat Shafi has 2 rakah, Salat Nafila has 2 rakah, Salat Jum'ah has 2 rakah, Salat Eid al-Fitr has 2 rakah, Salat Eid al-Kabir has 2 rakah. You see, all the Salat that has 2 rakah is written inside one. Number of rakah Salat. Then we'll go to Surah Al-Imran, which is number 3 surah. Then when Salat that has, then your attention will go to that number. When we come to second translation 1 with number that we're counting, your attention will go to that number 3. Then when Salat that has 3 rakah, that is Salat al-Maghrib. You see, number of rakah Salat al-Maghrib is written inside one. Then we'll go to number 4 surah, which is Surah An-Nisa. Then where your attention will go, that number 4. Then that number 4 surah, that is the surah that's a mentioned number of rakah Salat in it. Then also that number 4 surah, that number 4 of that surah is that number 4 surah, that number 4 is refers to rakah Salat. Number 4 surah, which is Surah An-Nisa, that's the surah that's mentioned the number of rakah Salat in it. Then that number 4 of that surah also refers to rakah Salat. Then when Salat that has 4 rakah, that is Salat Zuhri has 4 rakah, Salat Asr has 4 rakah, Salat Isha has 4 rakah. So you see, here, the third place where I mentioned about rakah Salat, he arranged it 1, 2, 3, 4. You are arranging number. So look at it. So, philosophy behind number of rakah Salat has no end. That is it. So those criminals that say that the number of rakah Salat is not necessary except you have the hadith, we know that, look at the number of rakah Salat. Criminals behind Islam. So that's it. Assalamu alaikum.